Before you take another sip of plain water today, let me ask you something important. How old are you? If you're over 50, the water you're drinking right now may not be helping your body the way you think it is. Most men believe hydration is simple. You feel thirsty, you drink water, problem solved. But after 50, your body changes quietly. Your cells don't absorb water the same way anymore. Your circulation slows, your energy drops, and no matter how much water you drink, you still feel tired, stiff, or foggy. That's not aging, that's incomplete hydration. Because water alone can't do the job once your body loses the minerals that move blood, oxygen, and energy through your system. What if I told you that adding just one missing mineral could help water reach your cells again, relax your blood vessels, and restore smoother, stronger blood flow naturally? Stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll never drink water the same way again. Let's start with a simple truth. Most men over 50 have never been told. If you're drinking plain water the same way you did in your 30s or 40s, your body is no longer using it the same way. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and over the years, I've seen this pattern again and again. Men come in doing everything right. They drink water all day, they avoid soda, they try to stay active, yet they still feel tired, stiff, foggy, or slow in the morning. The assumption is always the same. This must just be aging. But in reality, it's not age. It's how hydration changes after 50. When you're younger, your body is incredibly efficient. Your thirst signals are sharp. Your digestion absorbs nutrients easily. Your cells pull water inside without much effort. Plain water works because your internal systems still have the minerals and electrical balance needed to move that water where it belongs. But after 50, those systems quietly shift. The brain becomes less sensitive to dehydration, so you don't feel thirsty even when your cells need water. You drink less without realizing it, and even when you do drink enough, your body often fails to use that water effectively. Here's where most people get confused. Hydration isn't just about how much water you drink. It's about whether that water actually enters your cells. Every cell in your body relies on minerals to maintain its electrical charge. That charge is what pulls water inside the cell and keeps it there. As we age, mineral levels decline. Magnesium, potassium, sodium, and other electrolytes slowly drop due to changes in digestion, medication use, and modern diets. Without those minerals, water stays outside the cell. It passes through your system instead of nourishing it. Think of it like watering dry soil that's lost its nutrients. You can pour water on it all day, but it won't soak in properly. It just runs off. That's what happens in the body after 50. On paper, you may look hydrated. But at the cellular level, dehydration persists. This is why so many men say, "I drink water all day, but I still feel dry, tired, or heavy." That feeling isn't imagined, it's functional dehydration. As cellular hydration declines, circulation is one of the first systems affected. Blood becomes thicker and flows less smoothly. Oxygen delivery slows, muscles feel tight, joints feel stiff. Recovery takes longer, mental clarity fades. Even areas of the body that depend on steady blood flow begin to underperform. And none of this happens suddenly. It creeps in gradually, which is why it's so often mistaken for normal aging. Plain water alone can no longer correct this imbalance because water doesn't carry the electrical charge your cells need. It hydrates the surface of the body, but it doesn't recharge the internal systems that move blood, energy, and oxygen efficiently. This is the hidden reason why drinking more water doesn't fix fatigue after 50. The issue isn't quantity, it's quality. Once you understand this, everything changes. Aging doesn't mean your body is broken, it means it's running on fewer resources. And hydration after 50 requires a different approach, one that supports the electrical and mineral balance your cells depend on. In the next part, we'll look at how this lack of proper hydration directly affects blood flow, and why restoring it can make such a noticeable difference in energy, clarity, and physical performance. Once hydration begins to fail at the cellular level, the next system to feel it is blood flow. Most people don't realize how closely hydration and circulation are connected. They think of dehydration as feeling thirsty or dry. But in the body, Dehydration is really a circulation problem. When your cells can't hold water properly, your blood changes. It becomes thicker, slower, and more resistant to movement. That resistance forces the heart to work harder just to move oxygen and nutrients where they need to go. After 50, this process happens quietly. You don't wake up one day with poor circulation. It develops gradually. Blood vessels lose their natural flexibility. The smooth inner lining that allows blood to glide begins to stiffen. When hydration is incomplete, blood volume decreases and flow becomes uneven. That's when symptoms begin to appear. Cold hands and feet, heavy legs, slower recovery after physical activity. A sense that your energy doesn't move through your body the way it used to. Circulation is more than just blood pressure. It's the delivery system for oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and electrical signals. Every organ depends on steady flow to function well. When blood moves slowly, oxygen delivery drops. Muscles fatigue faster. The brain receives less fuel, leading to fog, slower thinking, and reduced focus. Even mood can shift because the nervous system depends on circulation to stay balanced and calm. One of the most overlooked effects of poor hydration is how it impacts the thickness of blood. Water is what keeps blood fluid and easy to move. When water stays outside the cells instead of inside them, the bloodstream loses volume. This makes blood more concentrated and harder to circulate. Imagine trying to push thick syrup through narrow pipes instead of water. That's what your heart is dealing with when hydration is incomplete. As blood thickens, the body compensates by tightening blood vessels to maintain pressure. This tightening further restricts flow, creating a cycle that slowly worsens over time. You may feel tense without knowing why. Your shoulders and neck stay tight. Your breathing feels shallow. Your body remains in a low-grade state of strain. None of this feels dramatic enough to raise alarm, but together it drains energy and vitality. Poor circulation also affects the smallest blood vessels first. These tiny vessels are responsible for delivering oxygen deep into tissues and organs. When they don't receive enough fluid support, they constrict. This limits blood flow where it matters most. Skin loses its healthy tone. Joints feel less lubricated. Muscles don't recover as quickly. And areas of the body that depend on consistent circulation feel weaker and less responsive. What makes this frustrating is that many men try to fix these symptoms in isolation. They add more coffee for energy. They stretch more for stiffness. They take supplements for focus. But the underlying issue remains untouched. Hydration hasn't reached the level where circulation can recover. Without restoring proper fluid balance inside the cells, blood flow cannot improve, no matter how many surface fixes are added. This is why restoring circulation after 50 requires addressing hydration first. When cells begin holding water again, blood volume stabilizes. Vessels relax naturally. Oxygen delivery improves. The heart doesn't have to push as hard. Energy begins to flow instead of feeling trapped. Over time, this leads to steadier stamina, clearer thinking, and a body that feels more responsive instead of resistant. Circulation doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be supported. And once hydration is corrected at the cellular level, blood flow follows naturally. In the next part, we'll look at the specific mineral that plays the most critical role in this process, and why adding it back can help water finally do what it's supposed to do after 50. Now that you understand how hydration and blood flow are connected, it's time to focus on the missing piece that makes the biggest difference after 50. There is one mineral that plays a central role in circulation, relaxation, and cellular hydration. Yet most men are quietly deficient in it. When levels of this mineral drop, blood vessels tighten, circulation slows, and water struggles to move where it's needed. When it's restored, the opposite happens. Flow improves, tension releases, and hydration finally starts working again. This mineral is essential because it controls relaxation inside the body. Every time a muscle contracts, every time a blood vessel tightens, there must be a signal telling it to let go. Without that signal, the body stays locked in a mild state of tension. After 50, this tension becomes more noticeable. Muscles feel tight even at rest. Blood vessels lose flexibility. The body feels stiff instead of fluid. This isn't because the body is failing. It's because it's missing the mineral that tells it to relax. Blood vessels are designed to expand and contract smoothly. This movement allows blood to flow freely and efficiently. But when this mineral is low, blood vessels remain partially constricted. Flow becomes restricted. Pressure increases. Circulation slows. Over time, this creates the feeling that energy no longer moves easily through the body. You may notice heavier legs, slower recovery, or a sense that your body doesn't respond the way it once did. These are not signs of aging alone. They are signs of chronic tension at the vascular level. This mineral also plays a critical role inside your cells. It helps maintain the electrical balance that allows water to enter and stay inside. Without it, water remains outside the cell, leaving tissues underhydrated even when you're drinking enough. This is why restoring this mineral doesn't just help circulation. It changes how your entire body uses water. Hydration becomes functional instead of superficial. As men age, levels of this mineral decline for several reasons. Digestive efficiency drops, absorption decreases. Modern diets provide less of it than they once did. Certain medications further reduce availability. The result is a slow depletion that most people never notice until symptoms appear. Fatigue becomes more common. Sleep becomes lighter. Muscles take longer to recover. Circulation feels weaker and less reliable. These changes happen gradually, which is why they're often accepted as normal. When this mineral is restored, the body responds quickly. Blood vessels begin to relax. Circulation improves without force. The heart works with less strain. Muscles loosen naturally. The nervous system calms. This creates a noticeable shift in how the body feels day to day. Energy becomes steadier. Movement feels smoother. The body feels less rigid and more responsive. These changes aren't dramatic or sudden. They build quietly, which is why they feel natural rather than artificial. Another important effect of this mineral is how it supports recovery. Proper circulation allows oxygen and nutrients to reach tissues efficiently. When flow improves, recovery speeds up. Muscles repair more easily. Joints feel less stiff. Even mental recovery improves as the brain receives a steadier supply of oxygen and glucose. This is one reason many men notice clearer thinking and better focus when this mineral is restored. What makes this approach so effective is its simplicity. Instead of forcing circulation with stimulants or pushing the body harder, you're removing the internal resistance that's been holding it back. You're allowing blood vessels to do what they were designed to do. You're giving water the ability to move into cells where it belongs. Over time, this creates a foundation for better energy, stronger circulation, and more reliable physical performance. Once the right mineral is added to water, hydration changes in a fundamental way. It no longer acts as something that simply passes through the body. It becomes functional. This shift is subtle at first, but its effects reach every system. Instead of flooding the body and being flushed out, water begins to move into the cells where it's needed most. This is where real hydration begins, and it's why mineral-enhanced water feels different from plain water almost immediately. Inside every cell is a delicate balance of electrical signals. These signals control movement, communication, and energy production. Water alone can't support this system. It needs minerals to carry charge and maintain balance. When hydration includes the proper mineral support, cells regain their ability to hold water and use it effectively. This restores internal pressure, allowing tissues to function smoothly instead of feeling dry or strained. As cells rehydrate properly, blood vessels respond. The inner lining of the vessels becomes more flexible. Flow improves without force. Blood moves with less resistance, delivering oxygen and nutrients efficiently. This change isn't dramatic or artificial. It feels natural, like the body is finally cooperating instead of working against itself. Energy becomes steadier because circulation no longer struggles to keep up with demand. One of the first areas people notice this shift is in how their body feels at rest. Muscles stop holding unnecessary tension. The constant tightness in the neck, shoulders, or lower back begins to ease. This isn't because the body is being sedated or dulled. It's because the nervous system senses balance again. Proper hydration sends a signal of safety to the body, allowing it to relax instead of staying in a guarded state. Sleep quality often improves as well. When hydration is incomplete, the nervous system remains slightly overstimulated even at night. The body struggles to fully shut down. Mineral-enhanced hydration helps calm this system. Heart rate settles, breathing deepens, muscles release. This allows the body to move into deeper stages of sleep where repair and recovery occur. Waking up feels different, not rushed, not heavy, just clearer and more refreshed. Hydration at the cellular level also supports mental clarity. The brain is extremely sensitive to changes in blood flow and fluid balance. When circulation improves and cells receive adequate water, thinking becomes sharper. Brain fog lifts. Focus lasts longer. Instead of pushing through mental fatigue, the mind feels more responsive and alert. This is not stimulation, it's efficiency returning. Over time, these changes compound. Day after day of proper hydration builds momentum. Recovery improves. Physical movement feels easier. The body responds more predictably to effort. Even emotional balance becomes steadier as the nervous system no longer operates in a constant state of low-grade stress. This is why people often describe feeling calmer yet more energized at the same time. Those two states are not opposites when the body is functioning properly. What's important to understand is that this process doesn't rely on force. There's no need to overwhelm the body with excess water or extreme measures. The goal is balance. When minerals are present in the right amount, water becomes efficient. It does more with less. The body no longer has to compensate or struggle to maintain equilibrium. This is why mineral-enhanced water is so effective after 50. It works with the body's changing needs instead of ignoring them. It restores communication between cells, vessels, and nerves. Hydration becomes a tool for stability rather than just maintenance. And once this balance is restored, the body becomes far more receptive to movement, recovery, and long-term vitality. The most powerful changes in the body don't come from dramatic overhauls. They come from small, consistent habits that work with the body instead of fighting it. This is especially true after 50. At this stage of life, the body responds best to signals of stability and balance. That's why restoring circulation and energy doesn't require complicated routines or extreme interventions. It begins with one simple daily habit that gently reteaches the body how to hydrate and flow again. This habit starts with how you approach water. Instead of treating hydration as something you rush through, it becomes intentional. Each glass becomes an opportunity to support circulation, energy, and recovery. When water is paired with the right mineral support, it sends a clear message to the body. The message is safety, balance, and readiness. Over time, this signal becomes familiar, and the body responds by relaxing unnecessary tension and allowing energy to move more freely. Consistency is what makes this habit effective. The body doesn't need large doses or aggressive changes, it needs repetition. When mineral-supported hydration becomes part of your daily routine, cells gradually restore their internal balance. Blood volume stabilizes. Vessels respond more smoothly. The heart works with less effort. These changes don't announce themselves loudly. They show up quietly in how you feel throughout the day. Mornings begin to change first. Waking up feels lighter. The stiffness that once lingered begins to fade faster. Energy comes online without being forced. Instead of reaching for stimulation to jumpstart the day, the body feels ready on its own. This sets the tone for everything that follows. When circulation is supported early, the rest of the day flows more smoothly. As days turn into weeks, the benefits deepen. Physical movement feels easier. Recovery improves. The body becomes more responsive instead of resistant. This is not about becoming younger. It's about becoming more efficient. When hydration supports circulation properly, the body wastes less energy compensating for imbalances. That saved energy becomes available for strength, focus, and stamina. One of the most noticeable shifts is mental. Clarity returns, the background noise of fatigue and tension quiets down, decisions feel easier, focus lasts longer. This mental steadiness often surprises people because they don't expect hydration to affect the mind so deeply. But the brain depends on circulation and fluid balance more than any other organ. When those systems are supported, clarity follows naturally. What makes this habit powerful is that it fits into real life. It doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't require strict schedules or constant monitoring. It simply asks for awareness and consistency. Each day reinforces the previous one. Over time, the body learns that it can rely on this support. That trust allows deeper relaxation and more reliable energy. Now, here's the most important part. This isn't just about feeling better today or tomorrow. It's about creating a foundation for the years ahead. When circulation is supported daily, the body ages differently. Muscles stay responsive, joints stay mobile, energy remains available. This is what long-term vitality looks like, not a sudden change, but a steady return to balance. And this is where the shift becomes personal. When you take control of something as simple as hydration, you're sending a message to yourself. You're choosing to support your body instead of pushing it. You're choosing to work with change instead of resisting it. That choice compounds over time. So treat this habit with respect. Make it part of who you are, not just something you try. Because when you support your body consistently, it responds consistently. Circulation improves, energy stabilizes, confidence returns quietly without effort. This is not a shortcut, it's a strategy, and for those who commit to it, the rewards are lasting. This is how you protect your vitality. This is how you stay steady, capable, and strong. And this is how you move forward after 50, not by chasing youth, but by mastering balance.